Jules, you talked about Manchester City possibly doing the treble this year. The other finalist has done the treble under Jose Mourinho. That was back in 2010. I don't think they ever expected to be back there. Certainly not at the start of the season.
Yeah.
But I want to, and they could do a treble of sorts as well, right? With
final,
the Italian Super Cup and Coppa Italia. I think over the two legs, it was a derby. We expect derbies to be tight and tense and so on. They won the first leg 2-0. We were there on Tuesday night at the San Siro. Yeah. They won 1-0. I thought this was a completely one-sided game. We can start by criticizing Milan if you want, or we can praise Inter. But can we first say a word about the San Siro on the night?
It was, as you know...
I'm biased, so I'm not going to speak.
And you've been there many times. But the last time I was at San Siro was 2006 for a Italy-France that was dreadful, a 0-0 draw. And the stadium felt big there. What I saw on Tuesday is the best atmosphere I've ever seen at a football match.
You've ever seen at a football match?
Never. And I haven't been to...
You haven't been to the Old Firm.
Boca River. Yeah. I haven't been to an Old Firm derby. So there's a lot... I'm not saying that this is the best for... That it beats everything. I'm just saying from the one I've seen, and I've seen many, many games. But yeah, the floor shook under my feet many times in this game, including on the Lautaro Martinez goal, of course. I thought the Milan fans played their part, of course. I thought Inter fans were incredible all around the stadium. They can't move, Gary. Do something. I don't care what they want to do. Refurbish this one, modernize it. I don't care. But they cannot leave that stadium. It's a perfect stadium.
Yeah, look, I mean, I said, I'm biased. I think it's just so distinctive, so unique. I realize they can't monetize it the way they want to. I realize, people say, well, but it's not like, it's not like the Tottenham Stadium, doesn't have all the modern conveniences and whatever else. And I get that. I kind of feel a lot of the new stadiums all kind of look the same and they're all very user-friendly and kind of soulless. I think fans make the stadium. And I think that just shows you what these two sets of fan bases, what they can do. And as somebody from Milan, I'm very proud of what they did over the two legs.
You should be.
Let's start actually with Milan here, because I don't know what Pioli could have done. I know what he could have done differently. I know what he tried to do. Clearly, he assumed that Inter were going to sit back and hit on the brake, which is why he played Junior Messias instead of Salamakers, figuring Salamakers isn't going to have space to run into, so he's not going to use his speed. He played Tonali, tried to play him further up the park, leaving Krunic as the only midfielder. It didn't work.
No, and I know if Brahim Diaz scores that huge chance that he has early on.
That was a sliding doors moment.
That could have changed, although I still think, and we disagree, I think that Inter were too good anyway. They were too good, especially with the 2-goal advantage from the first leg.
Well, you know what? Obviously, you're talking about a goal that changes history, right? Then Inter, the bad old Inter comes back. This is a more grown-up Inter or whatever, and they freak out. Equally, that save is the only save that Andre Onana had to make in the entire game. Yeah. I mean, Inter took, I think, 15 shots on goal, 4 on target. Milan took 5 shots on goal. That one was the only shot on target.
Then the one is the Rafael Leao, who just, it was just went wide a little bit. I just thought Pioli took a very long time to try to do something when it was still 0-0, and Lautaro's goal comes in the 74th minute. So there was plenty of time after an hour, for example, to say, listen, we out now. We out. We lost. We 2-0 on aggregate. We out. Let's do something. And I know the options on the bench were not great because it's Origi and it's Salemakers and it's...
De Ketelaere,
exactly. But at least try something. And then he tried when they were 1 goal down, which I think he's been... in a way outplayed by Inzaghi over the 2 legs, and I was disappointed by that. But I just think the best team won, the best squad won. This Milan team did really well to reach that far, but they're not good enough to go further anyway.
I mean, after the game, and I love the honesty, but Xiao saying afterwards, like, well, it's the first time ever in the Champions League final I found it, because he started Xiao instead of Simon Kjaer, or he could have started Kalulu too, I guess. And he says, it's really hard at this level, so many nerves. I appreciate you being honest, dude, but like, again, hindsight 2020, you know this ahead of time. Maybe it's not the right choice, but I think it's a bit swings and roundabouts. I think with Inter, there's a lot to say, but one thing that's really impressed me is seeing skill players, number 10s, and I'm thinking here specifically Mkhitaryan and Çalhanoğlu,
Yeah.
saying, guys, Inzaghi tells them, if you're going to play in this midfield, you got to run. You have to be a number 8. You have to be an all-around midfielder. And they go out and they do that because they want to be part of something successful.
Yeah.
Right? And so to me, that is a massive credit on Simone Inzaghi, a guy who's been mocked, who's been ridiculed for many times. And he gave us one of the greatest quotes ever. Do not mistake my politeness for stupidity.
Yeah.
We're going to get more in this on the Gab and Juls podcast.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.